When the economy collapses, when governments fall, when the dollar becomes worthless paper, what will you trade to survive? If you think gold and silver are the answer, you're already behind. The real currency in a post-collapse world isn't what the financial experts tell you to hoard. It's the items people desperately need every single day to stay alive, stay safe, and stay sane. Right now, before everything falls apart, you have a chance to stockpile the 10 items that will make you the wealthiest person in your community when chaos reigns. But most people won't figure this out until it's too late. If you're serious about surviving what's coming, hit that subscribe button now, because what you're about to learn could be the difference between thriving and begging in the new economy that's coming. Let's be brutally honest about what happens when society collapses. Banks close their doors. ATMs stop working. Credit cards become plastic rectangles with zero value. The money in your wallet might buy you something today, but next week it's worthless. This isn't theory. Venezuela, Zimbabwe, Lebanon, Argentina, during their worst economic crises, all showed us exactly what happens. Inflation skyrockets so fast that people need wheelbarrows full of cash to buy bread. Eventually, they stop accepting cash altogether. The currency dies. What replaces it isn't another government-issued currency. It's barter, direct trade, item for item, service for service. And the people who control the most valuable trade goods become the new wealthy class. But here's what most preppers get wrong. They stockpile gold coins, silver bars, thinking precious metals will be king. Gold has been valuable for thousands of years, so it must be the answer, right? Wrong. In the immediate aftermath of collapse, in the critical first months or even years, gold is practically useless. You can't eat it. You can't drink it. You can't sterilize a wound with it. Try trading a 1-ounce gold coin worth thousands of dollars pre-collapse for a can of beans. The person with the beans will laugh at you. They'll ask for something useful, something they need right now. Gold becomes valuable again only when society stabilizes, when there's enough security and surplus that people can think beyond immediate survival. In the chaos, in the dangerous early days, practical items rule. The items that keep you fed, healthy, clean, and defended become the real currency. And if you stockpile them now, you position yourself as someone with true wealth when the system falls. Let's start with the most obvious but most critical item: water purification. Clean drinking water becomes the single most valuable resource within days of collapse. Municipal water systems fail when the power grid goes down. Pumping stations stop. Treatment plants shut down. Rivers and lakes become contaminated with bacteria, parasites, and chemical runoff. People die from dehydration or waterborne diseases faster than from starvation. Every human needs roughly half a gallon to 3/4 of a gallon of drinking water daily just to survive. More if they're working hard or it's hot. A family of 4 needs 3 gallons minimum every single day. Stored water runs out fast. That's why water purification methods become worth their weight in gold, or actually, worth far more than gold. Portable water filters, purification tablets, and liquid purification drops turn deadly water into safe drinking water. A single LifeStraw filter can purify up to 1,000 gallons. A bottle of purification tablets can treat hundreds of liters. These items are compact, lightweight, and literally life-saving. When your neighbor's children are getting sick from drinking river water, and you show up with a box of purification tablets, you can trade those tablets for almost anything: food, tools, ammunition, labor, information. People will give you their most valuable possessions for the ability to drink without dying. Stock up now. Buy filters, tablets, iodine drops, and even learn how to build basic charcoal and sand filters. When water becomes scarce, water purification becomes currency. Next, we need to talk about fire. Making fire is one of humanity's oldest skills, but it's one modern people have completely forgotten. Most people today have never started a fire without matches or a lighter. When the collapse comes and stores are looted empty within hours, fire-starting tools vanish immediately. But fire isn't optional. You need fire to boil water, to cook food, to stay warm, to sterilize tools, to signal for help, to keep predators away at night. Without fire, your survival odds plummet. Lighters, waterproof matches, ferrocerium rods, magnesium fire starters, these become incredibly valuable trade items. A simple Bic lighter costs $1 today. After collapse, that same lighter could trade for a week's worth of food. A ferrocerium rod that costs $10 now might be worth a month of someone's labor later. Why? Because fire is life. Fire is comfort. Fire is safety. And most people won't have the ability to create it reliably. Here's the smart move. Buy lighters in bulk, hundreds of them. Buy waterproof matches by the case. Buy a dozen ferro rods. Store them properly in waterproof containers. When you need to trade, you're not giving away your primary fire-starting tools. You're trading from your surplus, and you're getting massive value in return because fire-starting ability is priceless. The person who controls fire controls comfort and survival. Food is obvious, but let's talk about which foods become currency. It's not the freeze-dried meals or the fancy survival food buckets, although those have value. The real trade foods are the basics, the staples that people consume daily and can't live without. Salt, sugar, flour, rice, cooking oil, coffee, tea, honey, spices. These items have been trade goods for thousands of years for good reason. They're essential, they store well, and they're universally desired. Salt alone is extraordinary. Humans need salt to survive. It preserves meat and vegetables. It makes bland food edible. Throughout history, salt was so valuable that Roman soldiers were paid in salt. That's where the word salary comes from. After collapse, salt returns to being precious. A bag of salt that costs $3 today could trade for a chicken or a day's labor post-collapse. Sugar provides quick calories and makes terrible food tolerable. Coffee and tea become psychological lifelines. When people are exhausted, depressed, and desperate, a cup of real coffee or tea provides a moment of normalcy and a caffeine boost. Caffeine withdrawal is brutal, and addicted coffee drinkers will trade heavily to avoid headaches and fatigue. Stock these items in quantity. Buy 25-pound bags of rice and flour. Buy cases of canning salt. Buy pounds of sugar and honey. Honey never spoils. Buy bulk coffee and tea, vacuum-sealed or in airtight containers. When your community is starving and struggling, you'll have trade goods everyone wants. But here's the key. Don't advertise your stockpile. Don't become a target. Trade quietly, carefully, with people you trust. Food as currency makes you powerful, but it also makes you a target if you're not smart about it. Now let's get into medical supplies, and this is where things get really serious. When the healthcare system collapses, when hospitals close or become death traps, when pharmacies are looted and emptied, medical supplies become worth more than anything else. A simple antibiotic could save a child's life. A bottle of painkillers could ease a dying person's last days. Bandages, gauze, antiseptic, sutures. These items mean the difference between a survivable injury and a fatal infection. People will trade everything they own for medical help when their loved ones are suffering. You don't need to be a doctor to stockpile medical trade goods. Start with the basics: adhesive bandages, sterile gauze pads, medical tape, elastic bandages, antibiotic ointment, alcohol wipes, hydrogen peroxide, iodine. Add over-the-counter medications, pain relievers like ibuprofen and acetaminophen, anti-diarrheal medicine, antihistamines, cough medicine, fever reducers. If you can legally obtain antibiotics, do it. Fish antibiotics like fishmox, which is amoxicillin, are available without prescription and are chemically identical to human antibiotics. Stock them. Learn how to use them. They could save your life or become incredibly valuable trade items. But be careful. Medical supplies make you a target if people know you have them. The desperate will do anything to save their children. Trade medical supplies only with extreme caution, in secure locations, with trusted people. And never reveal the full extent of your stockpile. Medical supplies as currency give you immense power, but that power comes with danger. Manage it wisely. Let's talk about hygiene, because this is something almost everyone overlooks. When the water stops flowing, when stores are empty, hygiene products disappear fast, and poor hygiene kills. It spreads disease, causes infections, creates misery. Soap, toothpaste, toilet paper, feminine hygiene products, diapers, these items become desperately needed. People will trade food for soap when their skin is infected. They'll trade tools for toilet paper when they're desperate. They'll trade anything for diapers when their baby is suffering. Soap is especially critical. It prevents disease, it cleans wounds, it washes clothes and bodies. A bar of soap costs $1 today. After collapse, that bar could trade for a day's worth of food. Stock up on basic bar soap, liquid soap, antibacterial soap. Buy in bulk. Buy hundreds of bars. Store them properly, and they last for years. Toilet paper is another one. It's bulky, so storage is challenging, but it's incredibly valuable. People who've never lived without it will trade heavily to avoid using leaves or rags. Buy cases of it if you have space. Feminine hygiene products are non-negotiable for half the population. Pads and tampons become gold in post-collapse barter. Diapers for babies are the same. Parents will give you anything to keep their babies clean and comfortable. If you stockpile these items, you're not just preparing for trade, you're providing dignity and health to your community. And in return, you'll receive goods and services that keep you alive and thriving. Now we need to discuss ammunition and defense items, and this is controversial but absolutely essential. When law and order break down, when police disappear, when violence becomes common, self-defense becomes survival. Firearms and ammunition become some of the most valuable items in existence. A box of 9mm rounds or .22 caliber bullets can trade for a week's worth of food. A reliable firearm can trade for a vehicle or months of supplies. But trading weapons is dangerous. You could be arming someone who will use that weapon against you or others. You need to be extremely careful. Trade only with people you know and trust, and never reveal your full armory. Even if you don't own firearms, defense-related items hold value. Pepper spray, tactical flashlights, knives, multi-tools, body armor, two-way radios for security communication. These items help people protect themselves and their families. Stock them as trade goods, but again, be cautious. Security items attract the wrong attention. Keep your trades quiet and your stockpile hidden. Let's move to tools and repair items. Because in a collapsed world, nothing new is being manufactured. Everything breaks. Everything wears out. The ability to fix things becomes incredibly valuable. Hand tools, duct tape, zip ties, screws, nails, glue, wire, rope, tarps. These items allow people to repair shelters, fix equipment, build defenses, create solutions. A roll of duct tape can patch a leaking roof, repair a torn tent, fix a broken tool handle. It's worth its weight in trade goods. Tarps protect supplies from rain, create shelter, collect water. A heavy-duty tarp could trade for a week's worth of food. Hand tools like hammers, screwdrivers, wrenches, pliers, saws, these become essential when power tools stop working. A good handsaw or a set of wrenches could trade for huge value. Stock multiples. Buy cheap but functional tools specifically for trade. Keep your high-quality tools for yourself. When someone's shelter is falling apart and they need a hammer and nails to fix it, they'll trade heavily for those items. You become the hardware store in a world without stores. Seeds are the long-term currency, and this is something few people consider. In the first weeks or months of collapse, seeds seem useless. You can't eat them immediately. But as reality sets in and people realize this situation is permanent, seeds become life itself. The ability to grow food means survival beyond your stockpile. Heirloom seeds, non-GMO seeds that produce plants whose seeds can be saved and replanted, these become precious. Vegetable seeds, herb seeds, grain seeds, each packet is a potential food source for years. Buy seeds now, in quantity. Store them properly in cool, dark, dry conditions. Many seeds remain viable for years if stored correctly. When the time comes and people are desperate to start gardens, you'll have what they need. Trade seeds carefully. A packet of tomato seeds could trade for tools, labor, or even a share of the future harvest. Seeds represent hope and future survival. That makes them incredibly valuable in a world without hope. Alcohol and tobacco are controversial, but undeniably valuable. People with addictions don't stop being addicted during collapse. Alcohol serves multiple purposes. It's a disinfectant, a pain reliever, a social lubricant, and a highly addictive substance. Cigarettes and tobacco are pure addiction trade goods. Smokers experiencing nicotine withdrawal become desperate, irritable, and willing to trade anything for a cigarette. A single cigarette post-collapse could trade for a meal. A bottle of liquor could trade for a week's worth of supplies. Stock these items even if you don't use them yourself. Buy cheap vodka or rubbing alcohol for disinfection and trade. Buy cartons of cigarettes and store them sealed. They last for years. These are vice goods, and vices don't disappear during hard times. They intensify. People drink to forget their misery. They smoke to manage stress. If you control the supply, you control significant trade value. Just be aware that trading vice goods can create dependency and resentment. Trade carefully and don't become known as the only supplier, or you'll become a target. Finally, let's talk about knowledge and skills, because this is the ultimate currency that can never be stolen. In a collapsed world, the person who knows how to purify water, start fires, treat wounds, grow food, repair tools, defend effectively, that person is invaluable. Your skills become your currency. You can trade your labor, your knowledge, your expertise for food, supplies, and protection. A doctor, a mechanic, a carpenter, an electrician, these people become community treasures. But you don't need to be a professional. Learn basic skills now. Learn first aid and basic medical treatment. Learn how to start fires in any condition. Learn gardening and food preservation. Learn basic repairs and construction. Learn self-defense. Read books, watch tutorials. Practice these skills before you need them. When collapse comes, you won't just be trading items from your stockpile. You'll be trading your abilities. And skills never run out. You can treat 100 wounds, repair 100 tools, teach 100 people. Your knowledge replicates and provides value indefinitely. The people who thrive after collapse aren't the ones with the most gold or the biggest bank accounts. They're the ones who prepared correctly, who stockpiled the right items, who learned the right skills, and who understand the new economy. Currency after collapse isn't about money. It's about utility, necessity, and survival. Water purification keeps people alive. Fire provides warmth and safety. Food sustains. Medical supplies heal. Hygiene prevents disease. Ammunition defends. Tools repair. Seeds grow. Vices comfort. Skills solve problems. These are the 10 categories that become the real wealth. Right now, you have time. Stores are open. Online shopping delivers to your door. Prices are still reasonable. You can stockpile these items quietly, legally, affordably. But that window is closing. Economic instability grows. Supply chains weaken. Shortages become more common. Prices rise. Every month you wait, preparation becomes harder and more expensive. The time to act is now, before the collapse, before the panic, before the shortages. Start small if you need to. Every week, buy a few extra items from these categories. A box of purification tablets, a pack of lighters, a bag of rice, a bottle of antibiotics, a case of soap. Build your stockpile gradually but consistently. Diversify. Don't put all your resources into one category. You need variety to trade effectively. Store everything properly in cool, dry, dark locations, protected from moisture, pests, and temperature extremes. Organize your stockpile so you know what you have and can access it quickly. Keep detailed inventories. Rotate stock when necessary to maintain freshness. But here's the most critical part. Keep your mouth shut. Do not tell people what you're stockpiling. Don't post about it on social media. Don't brag to friends and neighbors. The person who knows you have supplies becomes a threat when they're desperate. Operational security is survival. Prepare quietly. Store securely. Trade carefully. Trust selectively. When collapse comes, you'll be ready while others are panicking. And when that moment arrives, when the economy crashes, when the trucks stop delivering, when the stores empty and stay empty, you'll understand the real value of what you've prepared. You'll have the items everyone desperately needs. You'll be able to trade for food when others are starving. You'll get tools, information, labor, and protection in exchange for simple items that you bought for pennies on the dollar. You'll become one of the wealthy in the new economy, not because you hoarded cash or gold, but because you understood what truly matters when everything falls apart. This isn't fear-mongering. This is pattern recognition. Every major collapse in history follows the same path. Currency fails. Barter begins. Practical items become wealth. It happened in the Great Depression. It happened in the Soviet collapse. It happened in Argentina, Venezuela, Zimbabwe, Lebanon, Yugoslavia. It's happening right now in various places around the world. And it will happen again, possibly soon, possibly where you live. The signs are there. Inflation, debt, political instability, resource shortages, supply chain fragility. The question isn't if collapse can happen. The question is when and will you be ready? You've just learned what becomes currency after the collapse. You know the 10 categories that matter. Now you have a choice. You can ignore this information, hope everything works out, trust that the system will hold together. Or you can act. You can prepare. You can stockpile these items, learn these skills, position yourself and your family for survival and success in whatever comes next. The people who act now, who take this seriously, who prepare correctly, they're the ones who'll thrive. The ones who wait, who dismiss the warnings, who think it can't happen to them, they're the ones who'll suffer. Don't be the person begging for help when it's too late. Be the person who prepared, who saw what was coming, who took action. If you found this information valuable, if you understand how critical this is, then prove it. Like this video. Share it with people who need to hear this message. Comment below and let me know which items you're prioritizing in your stockpile. And subscribe, because this channel exists to teach you survival skills that could save your life. We don't sugarcoat reality. We don't sell false hope. We teach you what works, what matters, and what you need to do to survive when everything collapses. The next videos will go even deeper into preparation, skills, and strategies. But you need to be here to see them. Subscribe now. Your survival might depend on what you learn here. And if you want to go even deeper, check the pinned comment below. There are detailed guides and documents that break down these concepts further, give you specific product recommendations, teach you advanced bartering strategies, and provide checklists to ensure you're not missing anything critical. Those resources can take your preparedness to the next level when you're ready to commit fully. The collapse is coming. The only question is whether you'll be ready. Start preparing today. Stockpile these 10 categories. Learn the skills, protect your family, and when the world falls apart, you'll be one of the few who not only survives, but thrives. The choice is yours. Make it now, before it's too late.